Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and now welcome back to my see here as I have my top favorite films of 2020, and I do have a much more longer list than my top five worst films of 2020. Here I actually have my top eight. Because not too many films I saw 20, but I have two honorable mentions I want to mention, but I think it's more like I rather they're pretty decent movies, but I just think I didn't put in my top list though. So this time for my top eight for sure I put on this list though. But before I do that, the honorable mentions that I enjoy that I liked. One was Greyhound with Tom Hanks. It's another World War II, or yeah, I think it was World War II film. Tom Hanks, which I've always enjoyed Tom Hanks as an actor growing up ever since. I love Tom Hanks. Hardly ever gives a bad performance, never. But his acting, I thought he did a really good job. I wish I didn't give too much because if I wanted to review it, I'll not give details then. But Tom Hanks he did a good job. For the effects of the movie itself, I thought was pretty decent for what. I guess for given the budget, I guess what, $50 million. It was there. Saw it. Supporting cast, I thought was decent. Elizabeth Shue was one of them, really enough. But Greyhound. Now, of course, we're dealing with Tom Hanks doing a war film, of course, in the vein with. But of course, Saving Private Ryan is much better though. Or I think even Tom Hanks when he was not in it though, but he was involved with Steven Spielberg on making the show Band of Brothers and The Pacific. But Tom Hanks, I thought he did a good job. That's the best part of the movie. Another mention I want to give to is actually Capone, which actually that's a film starring Tom Hardy as Al Capone, and Tom Hardy some of his films I've seen, he's been growing on to me more. Now I still don't like him as Bane from Dark Knight Rises. I didn't like him as the new Mad Max from Mad Max Fury Road. But some of the film choices I thought was honestly his performance in more now is in Venom, Eddie Brock. Actually, I'd rather prefer that performance than the other two ones I mentioned better though. But other ones I thought with Tom Hardy was pretty decent. I thought there was a film I forgot that he was pretty decent in, but this film in Capone, I thought he did a pretty good job. And actually, the film was directed by Josh Trank. Since the studio interference he had from the 2015 Fantastic Four film he had. But here I thought he did a much better job, though, directing-wise. For our times, I felt it was, even though it's just it's mostly like a biographical drama on Al Capone. I think that's not it's not fully true and everything, But I think the times that they made it I felt like some certain moments and times it was becoming like a horror film to me. But more on that though, Capone I thought was actually I actually liked, but if there's other interpretations of films that had Al Capone in it, I watched The Untouchables with Kevin Costner, Sean Connery, Robert De Niro as Al Capone. I wish of course I put The Untouchables above this though, but this interpretation of this film of Al Capone, I thought Tom Hardy did a pretty I would say solid job, really enough. And that's about it. So those are the honorable mentions, the other films I liked in 2020. But now I'll get into my top lists, my top 8. So starting with number 8, now, which I do have some of the DVDs here, for the most part. Now, of course, as controversial as this film was, though, as an action film alone, I enjoyed it on an action film level, and that is of The Hunt. Yeah, I know this film got criticized even before it got released. It got moved on, because there was a thing that happened with a shooting back in halfway through the last half of the year of 2020. That's what they moved it, but is what critics or what people say about this film. To me, as an action film alone, I liked it. Of course, the premise of the film takes place like in the vein of Hard Target, with Jean-Claude Van Damme. How rich people pay to hunt other people. Like with Lance Hendrickson and his crew. Which I love Hard Target. Yeah, this is not near as good as Hard Target, nowhere near. Or there even reminds me of Surviving the Game, which with Ice-T and Rutger Hauer. That's another one where these rich people are paying to hunt one person. So this is like another in the vein of those movies. And I thought the lead actress, Betty Gilpin, I thought she did a really solid job. She does kick a lot of ass in this movie, and especially at the third act where she fights Hilary Swank. I thought the action was pretty well done, and you do get some good practical, gory moments in there. But I thought the lead, Betty Gilpin, I thought she did a really good job, and even for the main villain behind it, basically Hilary Swank, I thought she did a good job too. But some of the good practical gore moments, like a woman falls into a spike pit, and some good explosions, and some good especially some hand-to-hand combat, especially at the end with our leads here, Betty Gilpin and Hilary Swank. I thought I had fun with the movie. So yeah, like here in the back here, a fun, ultra-violent action movie right there. So yeah, I had fun with this film as an action movie. I know people throw in the whole political thing about it, but I don't. My channel is political free stuff out there. I don't leave talking anything like political, but I say as an action film alone, I liked it. So if some people criticize, don't get your panties in a bunch. I watch it as an action film. Okay, that's what we go. That's what we go into watch movies for action, right? I know some people were just going, "Oh, it's an action film I enjoyed." Okay, so don't crucify me for that. So moving on. That's number 8. Number 7, which I actually did not mind. Underwater. Yeah, as the title is generic though, but Underwater. Another film in the vein of those underwater horror films. Of course, it's nowhere near as good as the other ones, like Leviathan or Deep Star 6. But I thought it was a pretty decent one. And actually, Kirsten Stewart, outside of her Twilight roles, I actually liked. She did a pretty decent job in this film, surprisingly. Yeah. So yeah. Kirsten Stewart, a performance I actually liked. Yeah, John Gallagher Jr., which I've seen in other films too. And T.J. Miller, I didn't mind T.J. Miller. Well, as an actor, I didn't mind him in other roles though, but you see him kind of play the same kind of typical character he always plays. He's being the smart ass and telling jokes and all that stuff. Although it was given away in the trailer that I knew he was gonna die. Let's say, "Oh, it's pulling me underwater." I gave it away. I knew he was gonna die there. So, but when we see the creature, when we do see the creature, I thought it was decent design. But like I said, not as good as either Deep Star 6 or Leviathan, which are much better movies though. But I thought as a horror film like this, I thought it was decent. And actually, it's pretty fast paced, really, because I'm seeing it going into it basically a minute in the movie, it actually kicks off right away, with the whole disaster starting. So Okay, I didn't expect the film to start off actually right away like that. Yeah, so it actually it actually starts off like that. So yeah, I thought, well, how long was this? 95 minutes minus end credits. Yeah, it was a very pretty fast paced film, and it wasn't slow at all. Um. So yeah. Yeah, so Underwater was pretty decent. I thought I was not gonna not like it at first just from the trailer was not that good. So, but actually no. But Kirsten Stewart did a decent job, and I liked Underwater. Not the best, not the best of the underwater horror films, but Leviathan, Deep Star 6 are above it. Of course, if I want to put The Abyss in there as well. But yeah, Underwater. Next, so that was number 7. Number 6. It's not it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I knew it was not going to be loved by everyone when it came out. And of course, when it got pushed back after release date after release date after release date, I say this is a cursed film. But to me, I thought it was a lot better than a lot of the sequels in this franchise. And that is of the New Mutants. Yeah, because actually this is this is one of the films that curses the whole thing. Since the theater shut down, the time. But there's actually one time I saw me and my brother actually saw this in a drive-in for the first time in my life, and God knows how long and how many years I've been to a drive-in. So actually, me and brother saw this at a drive-in by the time when this came out, finally in theaters. But yeah, I like. It's definitely, like I said before, it's definitely a lot better than the X-Men sequels. A lot better. After X-Men 3: The Last Stand, basically better than X-Men First Class, better than X-Men Origins Wolverine, better than The Wolverine. Although I like Logan, so I probably say I put Logan above this film though. So I liked Logan, despite its issues. But this is better than Days of Future Past, better than definitely better than Apocalypse, and a hell of a lot better than Dark Phoenix. Dark Phoenix is the worst X-Men film. That was a big pile of garbage. I ranted on that. You can check it out on my rant on the Dark Phoenix. Hell of a lot better than Dark Phoenix or Apocalypse. Yeah, it's nothing new, but the more I say this, but the still going with the horror aspect, making more of a horror film. And even my brother, when he just was sitting next to him at the drive-in, him's like, listen to hear his reactions, like, oh, so even he liked the film, which when I told him to see this, at first he objected it. He said he was not gonna like it. But when I saw seeing his reactions while seeing in the drive-in, I knew he was liking the movie. See, he already judged this film already, and he ended up liking it. But yeah, the New Mutants, it's not great. I know that. I know it's not great, but it's a lot better than a lot of these X-Men sequels, definitely. Yeah, it's not spectacular. It's not great, but I'd rather watch another New Mutant sequel than another new X-Men film. Which, yeah, this is the last X-Men movie in the X-Men franchise before, no longer with MCU and all that stuff. So, but the New Mutants, for what it was, yeah. So that's number 6. Number 5. Yeah. So number 5. Although that came out earlier in 2020, but you should, and I don't need to talk much about this one because I reviewed this film already, so you can check back on my original review of this. But number 5, The Invisible Man, which I thought was a good modern take on the classic Universal monster of the Invisible Man, and Lee Winnell did a pretty good job on this film. Although I'm not a fan of his film Upgrade. I'm not a fan of that one though, but of course, as an actor, I liked him when he played Adam in Saw. And I liked him when he was in Cooties. He was one of the teachers. You know, he was the one who's like, quiet please. He's basically the one who knows about the diseases and about what's happening with the chicken nuggets and all that stuff. He's like the scientist of the group. But he's saying, quiet please. Yeah, as an actor, I liked him in Cooties, and I liked him when he played Adam in Saw. But a director, I'm not a fan of his film Upgrade, but I thought he did a good job of doing The Invisible Man. And I wish this would be a better when they wanted to do the dark universe with putting the Universal monsters in a universe. I like this a lot better than The Mummy with Tom Cruise. Definitely a lot better than that movie. Elizabeth Moss, I thought she did a pretty good job in this film. Elizabeth Moss. Yeah, how she was doing on the paranoia that even though he thought Griffin was gone, she thinks he's still alive. And when she's just doing the playing the paranoia, it's like, is he here in the room with me? You know, and doing like ruining her life. And I didn't see that coming when in the film when she was talking with her sister in that restaurant, and all of a sudden the sister just looks like this, and all of a sudden boom, there's a knife just floating right there, then close to her throat. I mean, it's like how the way it was shot is like she looks like, and then next shot, knife floating right beside Elizabeth Moss. And how he takes out the security guards in the hospital, which he doesn't kill all of them though, like sort of like injures them a bit though, with that in the hospital. And yeah, the Invisible, it's basically like I saw it as like sleeping with the enemy with the Invisible Man. You know, it's like how with, you know, Julia Roberts, you know, trying to get away from her crazy husband that was, you know, doing things to her. But same thing with here, you know, with Elizabeth Moss's character. That's like that. It's like it is like in a way sleeping with the enemy, but with adding the Invisible Man to it. And I like how she, how Griffin, which I did appreciate that they use the last name Griffin because that's the name of the last name of our original guy in the original Invisible Man. It's not Jack Griffin, but it's another different first name. But they still keep the last name Griffin, as you know, because that's the last name of the original Invisible Man's last name was. So, but I like how she does get back at Griffin when she at the end of the movie. And I thought that it was a really good take on the version of a modern version of the Invisible Man. So yeah, so the Invisible Man 2020, I really did enjoy. You know, a good take on the paranoia and some physical things when, you know, our Lee, especially with Lee, was being thrown around in the kitchen, and it was a really good movie. So a good modern take on the classic Universal monster. So I like the Invisible Man. So you can also check out my review of it. Now moving on to, that was number 5. So number 4. Number 4 is which I don't have though, but it's actually they say it's a documentary though, but it's actually called "Killing." You Can't Kill David Arquette. Now I'm not a fan of wrestling, so, but I was interested because I like David Arquette. I liked him in the Scream movies. I liked him in Eight-Legged Freaks and a couple of other stuff too. So, but it does take to. But I do remember the time when there was a time when, back in, what was it, 2001, around there, like early 2000s, like 2000, 2001, when he was where he won that title, that title belt in wrestling, which people say he's the one who killed wrestling. But here in this movie that he said that he wants to, you know, he wants redemption and all that stuff, you know, to earn that thing, or basically earn, you know, his like reputation of that fiasco from years back in, basically. And David Arquette, I thought he did really well in the movie. Whether you say it's a documentary or not, though, but I like David Arquette. Yeah, even when you see him, he hasn't done much nowadays, though. Although of course, they're making another Scream 5. Do we need another Scream movie? They should not do any more Scream films since Wes Craven is no longer involved. He's now passed away. And plus, I never cared for that Scream TV show either. I never cared for that TV show, and the mask in that TV show looked like shit. They should not do another Scream film, but they once again bring the original cast back, like Neve Campbell and Courtney Cox, and has even David Arquette as well. But at the time, David Arquette wasn't during the time between these years that he hasn't done much. That's what I'm trying to get at. But this movie, I thought it had I would say it had a heart to it, I would say, for what it was going for. But like I said, I'm not a fan of wrestling. I was never a fan growing up, so... But I did remember sometime back then about the whole thing, the whole controversial thing of it, he killed wrestling. So, whether you say wrestling is fake or not, though... But for this film, You Can't Kill David Arquette, I thought it was really a well-made movie. So... That's when, and I won't go into details of it, but if I review one day, like I said, it was a pretty good movie. Especially, I like David Arquette too, so. But that was number 4. Now moving to number 3, which as I aforementioned about sequels coming out years later, when I did my top worst list, with what was it? Bill? Yeah, it was Bill and Ted 3. There was another one that did the same thing. They did another one that it was years later. Oh, screw it, but yeah, it's basically Bill like 30 years later. Bill and Ted film that failed, right? Well, this one it was years later. And they finally came out with a sequel, which I thought was pretty good movie, actually. I know it was rare occurrences where a sequel comes out years later, usually it fails. But this one didn't. Bad Boys for Life, or Bad Boys 3. I really enjoyed this sequel. I thought oh really? Another bad... When I first heard about it, it's really years later you can finally do another Bad Boys movie. I was skeptical of that at first, though, but... Really enough, the director of this film, Adil and Bilal, did a really good job. Now, it's not as great, as that's one thing I would say, that the action, it's not on the same level the action that Michael Bay uses. Although, actually, really enough, Michael Bay does have a cameo appearance during the Martin Lawrence's daughter's wedding. Really enough, I was like, is that Michael Bay? Well, of course he should be, because he directed the first 2 movies, so he should have a cameo, because basically they were his movies, so I was like, oh yeah, that is Michael Bay. But in the action, although I do like the action in this film, though, but there's not much, like you say, how Michael Bay's always with those crazy action and explosions and all that stuff. But so I enjoyed the action in this film, but Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, they still have that same chemistry they had with each other. They still work well together, and the whole plot, dealing with the main villains, which I'll review when I review the 2 Bad Boys films when I get to this, though. But Jerry Bruckheimer is still producing the film, and yeah, this is. As I said before, this came out in January, and like I said before, big budget movies, they usually don't do well in January. Like I mentioned about that one right there I'm pointing at. Or Doolittle, like I said in my last worst list of 2020. Doolittle, that was a huge flop. This came out, this was one of the best big hits of 2020. This made over $400 million worldwide and $200 million domestically. So yeah, this was the big first massive hit of 2020. And yeah. But Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, they still have that good chemistry they had each other. They both did a really good job. It was cool to see Joe Pantoliano coming back. Although, Sad what happened to him, though, if you get what I mean, because I'm sure people haven't seen this film already. It's already, been out for that. It's already come by the 24th. It came out last year, so it'll be almost basically a year now. So, but it was good to see good to see Joe Pantoliano coming back, and the action I enjoyed, the humor that the two they have with each other was funny enough. Yeah, I enjoyed Bad Boys for Life. A sequel that comes out years later is actually a pretty good movie. Like I said, one of those rare occurrences where a sequel comes out years later from the previous one. Usually it fails, but not this one. It actually was a pretty damn good sequel coming out. I think that the directors of this film are attached to do the fourth Beverly Hills Cop movie. Now, like I said, I'm skeptical on that because Beverly Hills Cop 3, that was crap. Although I am skeptical on the fourth one, maybe I'll be interested since they did a good job with this. Maybe I'll be interested how they're going to handle a fourth Beverly Hills Cop. Who knows? But I'm still skeptical on that though. But if I was originally skeptical on this film though, and I enjoyed it, maybe there's a little glimmer of hope for the fourth Beverly Hills Cop film. But I'm not holding my breath on that just yet though. But Bad Boys for Life, I enjoyed. Definitely on my number 3 for me. Number 2, that I was looking forward to it, and which I did review also earlier this year as well. But I really love this film, and I'm glad they fixed the problem. They gave them what the fans wanted. This is a chance where a director, let alone a studio, listened to the fans and they corrected it, and it was really well done. And the film itself, and that is of Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog, I really enjoyed. Yeah, I've referred to the correction where they fixed the design of Sonic, as I remember when I did my reaction to it before when they heard they're redesigning it. I was appalled by the original look. As many fans were, me and other fans of the character itself were so pissed off, got so much backlash from that first teaser that the director and the studio they delayed it till Valentine's Day so they can fix up the character, and they did. When the next trailer came out, I applauded them. See, there's one of those rare occurrences where studios or the directors, they listen to the fans, and look what happens. Everybody was happy with the design, and the film made money. That's some of that what other studios, the director should take note of. It's called listening to fans, give them what they want, and look what happened. The film was also one of the few big hits that came out in 2020. And this and Bad Boys for Life was one of the highest grossing movies of 2020. So, that says a lot. And there was Ben Schwartz who voices Sonic. Yeah, I know. To me, I wish that Barbie was probably they wish they could have gotten Jaleel White back. This is one part of nostalgia I wish they would have done. But because Jaleel White, I enjoyed his voice when he did Sonic the Hedgehog. But Ben Schwartz, I thought he did a really good job as voicing Sonic. I thought he played Sonic off well. And James Marsden as the character Tom Wachowski, I thought he did a good job too. James Marsden, Jim Carrey. When I first heard that he was, as I said before, when I first he was going to play Dr. Robotnik, I was skeptical though. But seeing it now, he is Dr. Robotnik. Jim Carrey gave the best performance he did. He was playing back the old Jim Carrey we saw from back in the 90s. And his best performance he's done in how many years? And a hell of a lot better than Dumb and Dumber 2. Dumb and Dumber 2 was a big letdown of a sequel. He did much better than he did for Dumb and Dumber 2. Sorry. Jim Carrey, he, like I said, try to do like he did back in the when he was starting out back in the 90s. I saw that. Jim Carrey did a great job as playing Dr. Robotnik. And I'm looking forward to seeing the sequel. And when they brought in when they brought in Tails, you know, and it was nice seeing all the little references from the games, even from the cartoon as well, because they mentioned chili dogs. But yeah, he said yeah, he meant yeah, because is in the show, he likes chili dogs. Although it was kind of ruined though when he farted though. I know I said about how much I hate fart jokes. Yeah, I know that is a nitpick though, but you know how I am about when it comes to fart jokes. We did not need him to fart. But yeah, we said that right. We said he was a chili dog because he liked chili dogs, like in the cartoons. But yeah, other callbacks, you know, when Sonic, you know, was hidden Dr. Robotnik's a hovercraft, you know, nod to the game. Your little piece of music from the games too, as well. Him saving a turtle, which is a reference where he saved animals from the games. Yeah, you can go back on my review of it. I explained the little nods to that as well. Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog I really loved, and yeah, domestically in the United States it became the highest grossing video game movie, but not worldwide though. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing a sequel. And hopefully we'll see Jim Carrey, because by the end of the movie he was bald, you know, where maybe we'll see if he gets like, I don't think he's going to have to wear a prosthetic though. And when they see his Dr. Robotnik is, you know, when they call, because he's also known as Eggman, so he's like basically shaped like an egg and all that, his body was, so maybe we'll see Jim Carrey like that though, but we'll see. But Sonic the Hedgehog I really enjoyed. I loved the film. And I'm glad the film made the design of Sonic made a difference. When we listened to fans, then it paid off, and it paid off well, critical and box office wise. But in some sense, that's what Hollywood wants to take notice. You know, it's called listen to fans, and look what happens. It did well. So yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog #2. Now for my number one spot on my list. I'm doing this differently because I've been thoroughly enjoying this a lot, and it's a TV show, so I decided to cheat on this a little bit because, like I said, I've been thoroughly enjoying this show, and you should know this because I've been reviewing each episode. So yeah, my number one of 2020 is Yashahime, Princess Half Demon. So yes, Yashahime, Princess Half Demon. That's my number one of 2020. Yeah, I know it's an anime series, but I've enjoyed it so much I had to put this on my list. I had to, because since I've me being a big fan of Inuyasha, and I was looking, and when I first heard, but also I saw the trailers list, I was really looking forward to this, and I've been thoroughly enjoying this anime a lot. And for really quick, the animation I thought was really well. It's still well done. The score by Kira Wada, who comes back, who did the score from the previous show of Inuyasha. She comes up. Sorry, I'm not sure if it was a she or he. If Kira Wada is a she or he though, still, but comes back to once again do the score for the show. I still the score not as good as the score memorable score from the Inuyasha though, but this is still a pretty decent score too. So I still give credit to that. It was cool to see our original characters come back. Let alone most of the English cast, the English dub cast, like Richard Ian Cox once again is Inuyasha. Although it was kind of weird because it's been years since they did the characters, so their voices have changed slightly a bit though. But still, but they're still the same character. Still the same people who voice the characters. Like I said, Richard Ian Cox is Inuyasha. I forget who voiced Kagome. Who voiced Kagome from the Final Act series. She comes back as Kagome. She still does decent as well. And yes, even who voiced Sango again. She comes back as well. And same for Shippo, as well as Kaede, even Miyoga. Even the same voice for Kikyo, although it's although the Tree of Ages, when they heading back to the past, they talk to the Tree of Ages, but the Tree of Ages is using Kikyo's form to talk to them, but it's still the same voice of Kikyo still. So they still got the same voice actress to voice Kikyo as well. So that was cool too. Even the same voice of Sesshomaru as well. So yeah, so most of the original cast from the previous show comes back. It was cool to hear. Oh, even I got to mention, even the same actress who voiced Kagome's mother. Not her grandpa though. Sadly it's a different voice actor though, because I listened to Kagome's grandpa a lot. Clearly it's a different voice actor. And I mentioned about even Kirby Morrow from the first episode he did before he passed away. Yes, it was a great shame that we lost Kirby Morrow, voice Moroku, and I said before, did he record any of his lines when it comes to the English dub episode 13? Did he still manage to do his lines when he came back before he passed away, or did he get a different voice actor? Who knows? But we have to wait until the English dub version of that episode comes out, though. But it is going to be very weird for a different voice Moroku, because Kirby Morrow has voiced him throughout the whole entire series of Inuyasha, even up to the first episode of Yashahime. It was very sad and let alone unexpected as well. Did I mention it? I didn't think I did. What? Now that I think about it, I don't think I mentioned him. Yeah, I didn't. Damn it. Yeah, I did not mention him. Did I mention him in my Actors Memoriam video? I don't think I did. God, I must have not blanked out, I guess. Yeah, that's right. I didn't, because I was going through the whole list from the year 2020, and I didn't mention him. God damn it. It pissed me off now. Yeah, I didn't even mention him in my Actors Memoriam, but we lost Kirby Morrow's Morocco. I'm very positive I did. My memory is that freaking bad right now. If I didn't, damn myself. Yes, it's sad we lost Kirby Morrow, who voiced Morocco, because I've been watching Inuyasha, the whole show, a whole bunch of times. Not 24/7, but a whole lot of times. And the time when he passed away, I was like, really? I'm watching Inuyasha right now, I'm hearing his voice, all of a sudden he's passed away now? That totally sucks now. Because now I have to watch the rest of the show, I have to hear his voice knowing he just passed away. Yeah, but Moroku, Kirby Morrow, it just totally sucks. Yeah, if I mentioned in my more review, I apologize. I should have mentioned because I really enjoyed him. Yeah, he was 47, way too young, way too young. I know he's done a lot of voice work on anime as well as other TV shows, but I always remember him from voicing as Moroku. Would you bear my children? Yeah. But, it's sad. So, who knows, when the English dub of episode 13 comes out, maybe he did record his lines before he passed away, or they got a different voice actor. We'll have to wait and see on that. But going back to why I enjoy Yashahime a lot, are the main trio of Toa, Setsuna, and Moroha. Toa and Setsuna, I've enjoyed too. But Moroha, Kagome and Inuyasha's daughter, she's definitely the comedic relief of the show. She was definitely one of the best parts for me. Like episode 5, which became her father, Beniyasha called herself, when you used the Rouge, using Iron Reaver's Soul Stealer, which I explained that when she used Iron Reaver's Soul Stealer, that exact same shot when Inuyasha used it as well. That was a good callback to the show. And using Blades of Blood as well, and her eyes changed to her dad's eye color as well. So that was cool too. Other episodes I enjoy, especially episode 4, Gateway to the Past, when Moroha and Setsuna were sent to the future, were in the present. Another good nod to the show when Kagome's grandpa gave her great-granddaughter, that same webbed foot from that first episode of Inuyasha when he gave it to Kagome. She did not like it. She gave it to the cat Buyo. But this time, when she gave the same thing to Moroha, she ends up liking it because she likes stuff like that, and she's like, "Oh, it's a good gift," and Crab was like, "Kagome gave birth to a truly wonderful daughter. Thank you, Kagome." And although yes, and Toa and Setsuna, they have their moments as well, which I liked as well, and hopefully we'll see. Look forward to the next episode, which I said I was going to talk about the preview, but I didn't get around it though. But this is now too late though. So by the time this is up, I'm going to be talking about. By the time this is coming up, I put this out. I'll be talking about probably at the top of the next episode, episode 14. The man who behind the forest fire, or what was those called? So that the one demon who breathes fire. So he's the one who caused the forest fire. Hence, Toa gets separated from Setsuna. Excuse me. So look forward to seeing that though. And all the episodes I enjoy, like episode 10, dealing with the demons like Kinka and Ginka. This of course dealing with the sibling thing. Just like with the Toa and Setsuna. Episode 8, I enjoy the dream gazing trap, which had a lot going on. And seeing through the memories, especially like I said before, best part was seeing Kagome holding baby Moroha, and hence why Moroha ended up on her own, because she was given away to Hachi for her own safety and protection, while the Inuyasha was preparing to fight with Sesshomaru and Kirimaru. Now, like I said, why was Sesshomaru teaming up with Kirimaru? Because since we heard that since Sesshomaru refused to fight him, now he's teaming up with him. My guess is it's something to do to help Rin. That's what I'm saying. Because we see Rin inside the Tree of Ages in a slumber, like with Mr. Freeze's wife, in that water tube, It's something like that. You see like liquid inside the Tree of Ages. That's why it looks like what Rin is in. So it's kind of like that. It reminds me of Mr. Freeze's wife from Batman and Robin, or in the cartoon too. So, but still, my guess is it's something to do to help Rin. Why is she in a slumber inside the Tree of Ages? We don't know yet. But we see how Setsuna's dreams were taken, and how the dream butterfly gives it to Rin. So, yeah, there's still questions even though there's still episodes I really enjoy, especially episode 13 when Moroku and Sango comes back, especially when Moroku and the four peril Totetsu. Episode 13 was a lot going on too as well. We see Setsuna in her demon form. That was cool to see. Yeah, but there's a lot going on, so I've thoroughly enjoyed this series a lot. And although there are still questions we all want questions that we want to answer. Well, for me, basically, where is Shippo? And where is Shippo? And yes, where is Inuyasha and Kagome? That's one of the reasons. But what is Sesshomaru doing? What is he still doing to help Rin? Which, in the preview of the next episode, we do see Sesshomaru, but I don't think it's not going to be the main focus of it, though. But I'm guessing that's something that has to do with helping Rin. Because that's one thing, though. Why? Because that's the thing. Everyone is expected, which I do believe, that Rin is the mother of Toa and Setsuna. Because, like I said, why would Sesshomaru come back to Kaede's village to pick up the twins? That was maybe that's the only reason why, or the only reason to go to that village in the first place is to visit Rin. And Rin was the only human that he cared for. So it makes it would not make good sense that Rin would be the mother of Toa and Setsuna. I highly believe it is, because even when the episode the black-haired Toa, when Toa becomes human and her hair turns all black, her hair kind of scraggy looking, kind of sort of a way how Rin's hair was. So it is kind of odd. A lot of people are saying that I said fully believe that Rin is the mother of Toa and Setsuna. So yeah, there's still a lot of questions that are going to be answered, which we will get later on though. But it's still fun to make guesses, and theorize what's going on. So, but Yashahime, all I was to know is where is Kagome, where is Inuyasha, where is Shippo, because we haven't seen. We see with the Moroku and Sango are fine, although we see one of her twin daughters though. But where's the other one? And whose grave that Sango for that one split second scene? What was she playing at? People are theorizing that was one of the other daughters, her other daughter. We don't know yet though if we see the other one though. But I say, where is Kagome? Where is Inuyasha? Where is Shippo? That's only the three main principal cast we still not yet seen come back. So we'll have to get our answer then. And what about with Riku? Because he took one of the pearls that from Kyuki, killed her basically because he hates the four pearls. And I'm speaking with the corpse dealer Jupi. He has the green pearl. So I was going on with that. But yeah, there's a lot more that's going to be answered later on down the road. So yeah, so Yashahime, I really love this show. So that's why I had to put this out as my number one on this list because it is the best one of the best that I've enjoyed in 2020. I was looking forward to it, being a big fan of Inuyasha, and I really do enjoy it. So yeah, so that's my number one favorite of 2020. So going on back on my top list, number 8, The Hunt. Number 7, Underwater. Number 6, The New Mutants. Number 5, The Invisible Man. Number 4, Bad Boys. No. Number 4, You Cannot Deal. Number 4, You Cannot Kill David Arquette. Number 3, Bad Boys for Life. Number 2, Sonic the Hedgehog. And number 1, Yashahime, Princess Half Demon. Oh, speaking of, I gotta mention one thing. I can't forget this. The opening. I really love the intro to Yashahime, and I really love the opening theme to it by the song New Era by Six Tones. I really love that. I really love that theme. The theme at the end, playing during the end credits. I forget the name of it though, but that's decent as enough. But I really love the opening theme more though. Welcome. What was it? All right, welcome to New Era. I really love that theme, and I love the intro as well. So it played well with the theme and the intro together. I really loved it. I gotta mention that before I close out here. I love the opening theme and the intro. New Era by Six Tones. Really enjoyed it. So that's my favorite. That's my top 8 list of favorites of 2020. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video. Maybe by the next video it is my review of episode 14 of Yashahime. So we'll see on that. I got another video coming out too. So I think another update I should say. Another update. So before my review of episode 14, I got another update video to do. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, and we'll stay tuned for the next video. And like I said, my list is only opinion. You can whether you like or dislike or not, though. But it's opinion based, subjective. But hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video. Later.